Hello. Today's Friday. I hope you guys are excited that it's Friday. We are talking today about arrays and area models and using them to solve multiplication problems. Here is our learning target for the day. I can represent and solve the multiplication of two-digit numbers using arrays, area models, or equations. Notice the words represent and solve. The word represent means to visualize. So we'll be drawing a picture to help us visualize multiplication. Our language objective is I can explain the strategy I used to multiply. So be ready to talk about multiplying, how you multiplied. You can use the sentence stems provided to help you have conversation about multiplying. Let's get started on setting up our notebook. So if you notice, oh, wait a second. Sorry about that. Here are the supplies you'll need today during your math notebook lesson. One colored pencil, grid paper, glue, a pencil, and your notebook. Take some time to gather these supplies. Then we'll set up our notebook. Here is the topic that you'll want to put on your notebook page: arrays and expanded algorithm, terms, and notes. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to copy and catch up. Let's go ahead and start watching the video.
How can you record multiplication? Think about this question during the lesson. Marcia picked oranges and put them in 12 mesh bags. Each bag had the same number of oranges. What is the total number of oranges Marcia picked? Which operation will you use to find the total number of oranges?
Well, when we look at this problem, we see that it says each bag has the same number of oranges, which means equal parts. So we think to ourselves about our chart: do I have a total chart? And I think to myself, no, I don't have a total. And then you ask yourself, do I have equal parts? Yes, I have equal parts. So my operation will be multiplication. Let's continue watching the video.
Multiply to join equal groups. Find 12 times 15. You can use an array to model 12 times 15.
Let's go ahead and set up this part of our notebook. Notice I wrote 12 times 15 at the top of my notebook, and I glued the grid paper onto my notebook. This grid paper is exactly 12 by 15. It will help you have a neat diagram that you can refer back to when you're looking at the steps for arrays. And also, this is really in my opinion, an area model also, as you'll learn when we get more into area models. Let's continue watching the video.
The array will show a large rectangle with 12 squares going up and down and 15 squares going across. How can you use an array to help you find partial products? Think about this question as you do the activity that comes next.
Okay, let's see what this next activity is. It says, each small rectangle of the model shows a partial product of 12 times 15. What are the partial products? Select the different areas of the rectangle to show the partial products.
This square has an area of 10 times 10 equals 100. This rectangle has an area of 10 times 5 equals 50. This rectangle has an area of 2 times 5 equals 10. This rectangle has an area of 2 times 10 equals 20.
Let's go ahead and take time to put this into our notebook. Here is what my notebook looks like so far. I've written down factor, sum, area, and partial product as terms in my term section. Then I also wrote down the first step to making an array or an area model, and that is write each factor as a sum of tens and ones. And then notice that I wrote down 10 plus 5 equals 15, 10 plus 2 equals 12. I broke 15 into tens and ones, and I broke 12 into tens and ones. Go ahead and record this in your notebook. Let's finish watching the video.
You can show each factor as a sum of tens and ones. So, 12 can be shown as 10 plus 2, and 15 can be shown as 10 plus 5. The large rectangle is broken into 4 smaller rectangles. Now you can find the number of squares in each smaller rectangle. Each small rectangle of the model shows a partial product of 12 times 15. You can use an expanded algorithm to see how the small rectangles relate to the multiplication. First, multiply by the ones. 2 times 5 equals 10. This product is shown by the green rectangle. 2 times 10 equals 20. This product is shown by the blue rectangle. 10 and 20 are partial products. Next, multiply by the tens. 10 times 5 equals 50. This product is shown by the purple rectangle. 10 times 10 equals 100. This product is shown by the pink rectangle, which is also a square. 50 and 100 are partial products.
Let's put this in our notebook. Here's what my notebook looks like. Notice I wrote 2 times 5 equals 10, which is this small rectangle. 2 times 10 equals 20, which is this next larger rectangle on the bottom. 10 times 10 equals 100, which is this large square. And then 10 times 5 equals 50, which is this square on the right in the upper corner. Then the next step is to add our partial products. So I wrote my partial products to the side under my multiplication problem, and I added them together to get my final product. This is called the expanded algorithm. So we're using several of the things we've learned so far. We're using partial products, we're using arrays, and then we're using the expanded algorithm to solve a multiplication problem. Let's finish watching the video.
Then add all the partial products. 10 plus 20 plus 50 plus 100 equals 180. Marcia picked 180 oranges. Why might an array be helpful when you record multiplication with an expanded algorithm?
Well, I personally think that an array is helpful, which also this really will help us with our when we learn area model, because these are very similar techniques. But an array or an area model help you visualize the multiplication problem. And that can lead you to see, oh wow, I've got 100 squares and I've got 50 squares. So it can help you understand how many the multiplication problem is representing. Let's finish the video.
An array helps you visualize the problem. You can use it to check all the partial products in an expanded algorithm. Now you know how to use an array and an expanded algorithm to record multiplication.
Let's finish our notebook. Here's the final product of our notebook. So I finished adding the partial products and I got 180. I also added expanded notation, or no, expanded algorithm, excuse me, and product to my list of terms. And finally, I wrote a summary using the end of the video because the end of each of these videos summarizes the skill. So I wrote, use an array and expanded algorithm to record multiplication. If you feel like challenging yourself, write the summary. You'll get in the habit and it will help you in your reading class too. Talk to you soon. Bye.